Good morning. Welcome to Westside Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Ellen Greenwood. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am the worship associate for today's service. We welcome each one of you with us here this morning, whether you are here in person or whether you are joining us virtually via YouTube, either now in real time or at some time in the future. However you are with us, we are very happy to have you. We are a welcoming congregation that seeks to affirm each person who chooses to worship with us regardless of who you are and how you identify spiritually or in any other way. And I hope that each one of you who is here with us in person this morning will stay for coffee and conversation after the service. There are announcements in your order of service and scrolling on the screen, and I think on your screens at home. So please take a look at those. In particular, I want to point out and emphasize next Sunday will be our Hanging the Greens holiday party. And the party part will actually be after the service. The service is going to be a play that happens on the spot, and everyone who is here and wants to be a part of that play can be. Especially children, but if you're young at heart or just want to be in the play, we would love to have you. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Our minister, Reverend Carol Baudot, who has been away for a couple of weeks, will be back with us Sunday, and she has written a script, I believe, and it will be a delightful service, I think. I believe also Bridget has an announcement to make.
Ellen, about that, do we bring food next week? For the party?
Food would never be turned down.
Party food!
It says food. I do not know, but I don't think there would be any harm in bringing food. Yeah.
Bring food.
Bring food.
We want a party, bring food.
Good food, yes.
So I had asked the question because I needed to know the layout of the room. So I asked the question, and Carol responded to my question about food, that it would be like turbocharged coffee hour. So like kind of like not a full potluck, but kind of hand finger foods, kind of that kind of thing.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah, so it will be supercharged coffee hour.
That's neat.
And so if you would like to bring finger foods to share, that sort of thing, it would be very much appreciated, but not a full potluck. Thank you.
Hey, so I'm Bridget Ross, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm loud, so it might be okay.
Well, you still need the mic.
Okay. So I'm on the safety security team, and us as a church are going to have a CPR first. It's going to be adult child AED CPR class on January the 11th. And so I am formally inviting anyone that can you have to physically be able to do chest compressions because you have to physically do that for the test. So that's the requirement to take CPR. And so it can be a child, but they have to actually physically know what they're doing and that they can physically do chest compressions. Anyway, so it's January the 11th. It's $75 per person. A check written to the church for that amount would be preferred. And we're glad that we're going to do this, and hopefully we can help other people go save lives at other places. So if you're interested in doing this, January 11th at 8 a.m. I didn't say what time, 8 a.m. It's a 4-hour class. That's why we're doing it early. Got to do it early and get it over with. We can bring, well, we can bring food. Everybody wants food for everything. Coffee. But anyway, so if anybody's interested in doing it, please come to me and tell me, and I'll write your name down and we'll get that all settled. But it's exciting, and I think it's great that as a church we're doing this. So there you go.
Thank you, Bridget. Yes, I think that's really good that we're able to offer this for our congregation. I don't know about the rest of you, but I arrived here at church this morning completely frazzled, and the longer I was here, I realized that, at about 75% of the people I saw coming in and that I talked to were just, not in a calm, meditative frame of mind by any means, just totally frazzled. And I don't know how you folks at home are either, but, sometimes we've just got so many different things pulling at our attention, this time of year especially, and so it's difficult. So, this morning, we're going to just sit for a minute and catch our breaths, take a few deep breaths. We'll listen to our singing bowl and allow it to bring us just to be present right here in this room together. Our service today considers how various faith traditions honor the earth. We will include just a select few of the many religions that we could look to for insight and inspiration. So, as I invite the bowl to sing, I suggest that we make a conscious effort to consider the interconnectedness that we share with every aspect of our beautiful earth. I have asked Suzanne Molnar to light our chalice this morning. And as she does that, I'm going to read some words that come to us from David Suzuki and were quoted on the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society Facebook page. The way we see the world shapes the way we treat it. If a mountain is a deity or a pile of ore, if a river is one of the veins of the land, not potential irrigation water, if a forest is a sacred grove, not timber, if other species are our biological kin, not resources, or if the planet is our mother, not an opportunity, then we will treat each one with greater respect. That is the challenge, to look at the world from a different perspective. Each Sunday, we also light candles of joy and concern for our community and our world. This morning, it seems appropriate to highlight our concern for global warming. And I have already lit these candles before the service, so they are here, but one for our concern for global warming. For the past few years, we have been experiencing a disturbing surge in global warming with profound and distressing consequences. And sometimes it's difficult to even find good news about our environment. But it's always important to celebrate the many people who are dedicated to caring for the earth. And this includes scientists fighting climate change and other issues, political leaders who understand the importance of governmental decisions that protect the earth, and just ordinary folks who make environmental concerns a part of their daily lives. And at this time, the choir has some music for you. We are going to sing a song called In the Cool of the Day by Jean Ritchie. And you are welcome, if you are interested and feel the spirit, to sing along. The words will be on our screen here.
My Lord, he said unto me, do you like my garden so fair? You may live in this garden if you keep the grasses green, and I'll return in the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Oh, this earth is a garden, the garden of my Lord. And he walks in this garden in the cool of the day. Then my Lord, he said unto me, do you like my garden so pure? You may live in this garden if you keep the waters clean, and I'll return in the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Oh, this earth is a garden, the garden of my Lord. And he walks in this garden in the cool of the day. Then my Lord, he said unto me, do you like my pastures of green? You may live in this garden if you will feed my lambs, and I'll return in the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Oh, this earth is a garden, the garden of my Lord. And he walks in this garden and the cool of the day. And he walks in his garden in the cool of the day.
Well, this service today is being presented by our Green Sanctuary Committee here at Westside, and several members of our committee have agreed to take a few minutes and talk just a bit about several different religious traditions and how they approach caring for the earth and being green sanctuaries, as it were. And first of all, I believe Charlie Dudney will talk about Judeo-Christian traditions.
Hi, I want to introduce you to our Judeo-Christian heritage regarding our views of the environment.
Charlie, I think I need to get, I'm not good at this.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, try to get real close to that.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Our Judeo-Christian heritage regarding our views of the environment. Since I am not the biblical scholar that my paternal grandfather was, I relied on Google for most of my research. By the way, he is the reason I am a member of this church. In the Old Testament, the ancient Hebrews frequently thanked God for the planet they have been given. The earth and its inhabitants are held in high regard. Job 12, verses 7 through 10 tells us, "But ask the animals, and they will teach you, the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Ask the plants of the earth, and they will teach you, and the fish of the sea will declare to you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of every human being." In the New Testament, most mentions of our planet are in reference to humans having dominion over it. Some Christians, especially those who believe in Calvin's doctrine of predestination, or worse yet, prosperity theology, are not inclined to care for the environment. It begins with Paul the Apostle, who, by the way, never met Jesus, but was a major influence on the early Christians. He wrote Ephesians 1:5. God decided in advance to adopt us into his own family by bringing us to himself through Jesus Christ. This is what he wanted to do, and it gave him great pleasure. Oral Roberts elaborated on this and began the preaching of what came to be known as prosperity gospel. In my opinion, these adherents of prosperity gospel have no concern for the welfare of our planet, as evidenced by their chant, "Drill, baby, drill." In conclusion, I point out that the current Israeli government is not very respectful of the environment in Palestine. What they are doing to Palestinians is very comparable to what Nazi Germany did to the Jews who revolted in Warsaw in 1943. Anyone who considers me to be anti-Semitic for making this comparison is myopic at best, if not hypocritical. Thank you.
And thank you, Charlie. Mary Levering was supposed to speak a bit about Buddhism. She could not be here this morning, and so Mary Frances Milligan has stepped in at the last minute and is going to share some bits about Buddhism with us. You may need to move that.
I will. See, well, Charlie relied on Google. I'm totally cribbing someone else's notes. So, we're having a great service here. And yes, I am the other Mary. I feel like Mary's evil twin. So Mary has a smile that just, I feel like, lights up the whole room. And when I smile, it's like, I should be a meme. So Mary did leave some notes, and so I'm going to read her notes, and also then I'm just going to kind of relate it to my own life because it's, I'm the one speaking. All right, and I am not the expert on Buddhism or world religions that Mary is, so, I want to say thank you, Mary, for writing this. So she gave a few talking points about Buddhism and the environment, the first of which is the concept of non-harming, or amisa. Buddhists should abstain from taking life, and this includes any form of life. Buddhists should be vegetarians. Buddhists are encouraged to show loving kindness and compassion to all creatures. They should believe that all life forms are special, not just human beings. Oh, well, guess what, yo? I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 30 years, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because I know when someone's a self-righteous vegetarian, people start rolling their eyes. But just me personally, my, I don't say diet, but the way I eat is part of my spirituality. For example, I love my dogs. I think they're part of my family. And when I look at them, I can't imagine ever eating them or any other animal. So it's part of who I am. I care about all of our creatures. There's a illustration I've seen floating around of a slaughterhouse worker with a knife in his hand, with livestock lined up behind him, and he bends over to pet his dog, and that's my feeling on it. And so one of the best things you can do for the environment is to eat less meat. I'm not going to be up here talking about everyone should give it up because we're a Western culture. I know that's not going to happen, but I do encourage people to embrace things like Meatless Monday or just eating a few meals a week without meat in it, and that would help channel some of this Buddhist thought that Mary outlined and also help our environment. But I am not perfect. I committed mass murder to an ant colony yesterday in my kitchen, so I still have a ways to go. So I don't want to sound like I'm all self-grandializing. The next item that Mary outlined was selfish craving. Buddhists teach that being selfish and craving things makes our actions affect the environment in a harmful way. Buddhists believe that changing people's attitudes about what they need is a major step to changing how they treat the environment and each other. And hey, it's the holiday season, and today is also my birthday, and I've got a lot of questions about what do you want? And I'm at the stage in my life, and I think Suzanne and I were just talking about this before the service, I have everything I need. I don't need more stuff. It's just going to take up space. And so, maybe be thinking about that when you're doing your holiday shopping. I actually wear a size front row balcony in concert tickets, if anyone wants to get me anything. So I do encourage, to think about those experiences, and also talking about my dogs. I'm one of those people who give their dogs Christmas presents, and these are the most spoiled just beings you'll ever meet, and they have more toys than they'll ever need, and I put them in a box, and they know how to open the box, so it's pointless. And so I really started like, what do I get my dogs this year? And they are getting a donation to the Basset Rescue. So, those are some different things that you can think about to kind of eliminate things, because the more stuff we have, the more resources that are depleted, and the more things end up in our landfills. Even just like packaging for all of our stuff, there's so much. And so those are some of the ways we can incorporate some of those beliefs into our daily practices. And then Mary closed out her notes with, the Dalai Lama said, "We are the generation with the awareness of a great danger. We are the ones with responsibility and the ability to take steps of concrete action before it is too late." So I want to leave with those thoughts. And I just did want to follow up. I did talk several months ago about my love of fountain drinks from the gas station. I bought a tumbler that the gas station now provides, and it saved over 100 styrofoam cups going in the landfill, so I'm pretty excited about that. So, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mary Frances, and happy birthday. Yeah. Next, Jerry Thornton is going to speak about Native American approaches to the environment.
So Native Americans and indigenous people from around the world have a great variety of beliefs about nature and the environment. And it would be a disservice to that variety to simply proclaim that Native Americans believe X or Y or Z. For instance, the beliefs of Aborigine people in Australia center on a dream world that Western people find very difficult to understand. Yet those Aborigines have coexisted with a wide range of environmental conditions on the Australian continent for like 50,000 years. And they had an amazing ability to use that environment without destroying it. And they never built big cities or palaces of worship in the process of doing that. In contrast, civilizations like the Maya, the Inca, and the Aztecs in Central America built huge cities and had formal priesthoods who led worship of various gods and often made sacrifices of human beings to those gods. Their expansive populations and agricultural systems, in addition to warfare, ultimately invasion by the Spanish, led to environmental destruction and collapse of their civilizations. But of course, over time, nature has reclaimed most of those cities, and archaeologists are just now using LIDAR to find amazing cities that have been hidden by rainforests for centuries. Nature always finds a way to recover from the collapse of an ecosystem to create a new one. So for the sake of time, I want to focus on some general themes of how native peoples of what's now the United States viewed the natural environment. There are several themes that tend to be repeated, although the details vary greatly. First, there is a belief in a great spirit that oversees nature, human beings, and all of creation. Often the great spirit is simply called creator or the creator. Some believe that the great spirit is everywhere, in the plants and the animals, the soil, the rocks, and the water. Many tribes believe that the great spirit can intervene in human affairs if offered the correct prayers and tributes or sacrifices. They pray to the Great Spirit for health and strength, for a successful hunt, for victory over their enemies. In this regard, Native American theology is not much different from Judeo-Christian beliefs in a supreme being. A second theme is the earth is our mother. We must respect her. Some, like the Navajo, believe they emerged from the earth at a place called the Sipapu in the Little Colorado River Gorge. Others, like the Cherokee, believe that the earth rides on the back of a great turtle. Regardless of these origin stories, the theme is similar, the Mother Earth. Many see Mother Earth as an earthly manifestation of the Great Spirit, or the Creator, a living and conscious being with her own spirit and energy. While there is plenty of similarity here to beliefs of pre-Christian tribes in Europe, it tends to contrast rather sharply with the Judeo-Christian beliefs that the earth is here for humans to dominate and exploit. Now, I noted that Charlie found that, at least in the ancient Jewish tradition, maybe was more perspective of the environment than some of the modern Christian views, and I'm no expert on that. A third theme, though, of indigenous people in North America was that humans are just part of nature, not apart from it. The animals and plants are our brothers. However, we must eat them to survive and use them for medicine and their skins for warmth, warm clothing. But when we do, we must give thanks to the Great Spirit for them and to the spirit of the animal or plant itself. Most importantly, we must not take more than we need. This, again, is in sharp contrast to at least the Christian belief, or many Christian beliefs, that God made nature for us to exploit. That kind of view of exploitation has led to the extinction of the passenger pigeon, the Carolina parakeet, the ivory-billed woodpecker, almost the buffalo, and at one time the clear-cutting of about 90% of North America's old-growth forests. The fourth theme is that the land belongs to all of us and to our brothers, the plants and the animals. Now, this does not mean that the tribes and confederations of tribes did not fight for control of big chunks of land, because they did. But within the territory of a tribe or confederation of tribes, the land and the plants and animals were considered as one, not distinct from humans. It follows that the land cannot be sold to or owned by an individual, and the tribe or confederation is obligated to care for it. And this again contrasts completely with the belief of the European Christians who imposed the concept of land ownership by individuals and corporations upon all of North America. And finally, fifth, nature is a source of spiritual guidance and wisdom. Young men in particular were often sent on solo spirit quests in the wilderness to fast and pray to the Great Spirit for strength and guidance. The Native Americans found spirituality and beauty in nature, whereas the European Christians saw nature as an enemy to be feared, conquered, and tamed. So after centuries of suppression of Native American beliefs and practices by European conquerors, some states and some elements of the United States government are now allowing and honoring Native spiritual practices in present times. You may have heard that Native tribes are being allowed to practice traditional burning techniques in some areas and harvesting, traditional harvesting of plants in national forests and national parks. More importantly, many tribes are now making a concerted effort to teach the young of their tribes about their historic and prehistoric values and practices regarding protection of Mother Earth and respect for the Great Spirit. May we, who are not indigenous to North America, listen and learn from these first peoples of the Americas. Thank you.
And next, Yada Jager will talk about, excuse me, Zoroastrianism and Hinduism.
I'll mainly be talking about Zoroastrianism, and that might seem like kind of an arcane choice, but it's a religion that I'm kind of fascinated by. It's very old and, on the order of magnitude of the age of Hinduism, and they grew up alongside each other. Zoroastrian introduced monotheism, as well as the fight between good and evil and the idea of an afterlife that included either a hell or a heaven. It has deep traditions in modern-day Iran and the Indian subcontinent, and goes back, many centuries BCE. And the written Avestan texts were written at least 4,000 years BCE. You may be familiar with the three wise men. They were supposedly or thought to be Zoroastrian priests that traveled from Persia, which is now modern-day Iran. It's considered the world's first ecological religion. They believe that everything God created is pure and should be treated with reverence and care. The elements of nature are regarded with the most profound reverence, and their Avestan texts clearly reflect the veneration for the earth, the air, the waters, and even plant life. And they have daily prayers that are a daily reminder of the beauty and majesty of nature. They believe that humans are responsible for caring for the seven creations, which are sky, water, earth, plants, animals, humans, and fire. So fire is an important part of their religious practices. They believe that humans are the only conscious creation and therefore have the duty to care for the universe. And Persian kings established the first forestry administration and nature reserves and prohibited animal sacrifices that we know of in prehistory. As far as protecting water, Herodotus in his history, completed in about 500 years before the Common Era, informed us that the Persians revere rivers. They would neither make water, nor spit, nor wash their hands therein, nor suffer anyone to do so. Water, whether it be the rivulet, lake, or the mighty sea, is sacrosanct to the Zoroastrian. Zoroastrians never enter a river to wash in it, and they never dispose of the dead in water. And there's a ritual called Abzor that was a reenactment of Zarathustra's cleansing of the earth's waters. They had They maintain sacred fires, perhaps still do, I think, in fire temples that represent the light of God and the illumination of the mind. And no ceremony or ritual is performed without the presence of a sacred fire. And I think this religion is particularly distinctive and important, even though the numbers have dwindled and there are now Parsis, but not very many of them, because of their influence on other later religions. And maybe we've lost some of those aspects of the religions that we should have kept. Thank you.
Thank you, Yetta. And finally, Elizabeth Greenwood is going to talk to us about the Wild Church and Earth Church, which are, I believe, part of the same thing.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. My name is Elizabeth Greenwood. My pronouns are she and her. It's lovely to be here with you all today. I am not an expert on this. I am brand new both to UUC and to the Earth Church here. I started attending Westside UUC last December at the Solstice Spiral. That was my first time here. I immediately found a way to participate in this community by joining the Green Sanctuary Committee, the group that's bringing this service here today. But I chose Westside UUC as my spiritual home primarily because one of the ministries here is the Earth Church East Tennessee, which is a part of the Wild Church network. This church invites us to reconnect with the natural world as kin, as sacred. The words recited during the chalice lighting are a reminder for each of us to treat our planet and the biological kin we share it with greater respect. Those words are mirrored by Thomas Berry, who said, "Wild church communities are responding to a call from deep within to change the way we relate to the natural world, moving from a collection of objects to a communion of subjects." Wild churches are ecumenical and spiritual, but not religious. Gatherings offer opportunities for contemplation, connection, expressing grief and sharing joy, for praise, movement and song, for solo wandering and wondering, and for exploring new ways of being human in relationship with the land and creatures. Excuse me. For me, Earth Church or Wild Church is experiential, and we can experience it in our own ways. We each come to it from our own perspectives. We don't just think or read or talk. We do, we act, we sense, and we feel. We do this to connect more fully with our natural world. One way a Wild Church participant might connect with our earth is through a grounding meditation. So I would like to take you through one of that and guide you through a grounding meditation right now. This is experiential. I invite you to sit either in your chair or on the floor if you like. Ideally, this meditation would be done outdoors, sitting on the ground, but it works indoors too. If you're in a chair, place your feet flat on the floor. This will help you in the grounding. Sit comfortably, but erect. Relax your shoulders, your arms and hands. Relax your back, your stomach, your butt, your legs and feet. Allow any tension in your body and mind to fade away. Allow your head to drop a bit as you relax. Breathe deeply. Let your belly expand as you inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. It's okay to sigh or make other sounds as your breath passes over your lips. I invite you to close your eyes, but if you are more comfortable leaving them open, then bring your focus to a point in front of you, perhaps your knees or your hands in your lap. Let my voice guide you as you let go. Relax and breathe gently, deep, slow, and steady. If a thought comes to you, just acknowledge it. Oh, it's a thought, and let it go. Inhale, exhale. As you sit there, feel where your body is connected, your feet on the floor, your sit bones on the chair or the floor. Bring your attention to your lower back, to your sacrum or tailbone, the base of your spine. This area is also known as the root chakra. With each breath you let out, visualize your root begin to sprout from the base of your spine and grow towards the ground. Just a little nub on the first breath, but progressively bigger with each breath you take. Inhale, exhale. See your root dropping through the floor of the building, past the pipes and foundation, dropping into the dirt, deeper and deeper as you breathe. As your root grows, it begins to branch, each tendril seeking its own path through the soil into the earth's crust, through the mantle, all the way to the earth's core. Be aware of the energy your root has tapped into, the heat, the light at the center of our earth, the pressure. Breathe in, breathe out. As you inhale, pull that energy back up through your roots, up through the mantle and crust of the earth, up through the soil and floor of the building. Pull that energy up into your root chakra. Let that energy continue to rise up your spine, filling your belly, filling your chest, your lungs, your heart. Feel that energy from the earth's core spread through your arms, your hands, your fingers, through your legs, your feet, your toes. Feel the energy fill your shoulders, your neck, your throat. Feel it rise to the base of your skull, filling your head and up to the crown. The earth has so much to share with you, all this energy, and you to share with the earth. Visualize streaming from out the crown of your head a sparkling flow of energy dropping back into the earth. It streams from your crown, from your fingers and toes, and flows back into the earth, as deep as the core. Inhale and pull the energy up into you. Exhale and let it flow out back to the earth's core. Breathe the energy up and through you to seep back into the earth. A cycle of energy, a connection of love. Inhale, exhale. Bring your attention back to this place. Be aware now of the space you are in and the beings around you. Feel the warmth, hear the sounds of breathing. When you are ready, take a deeper breath and open your eyes. See the beauty of our world. Sense the energy flowing around you. Breathe and be at peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That was wonderful. At this time, we're going to sing together. All of us are going to sing hymn number 1064. There are Teal hymnals nearby, if not one in your seat. Also, there will be lyrics up on the screen that you are welcome to use also. And if the choir will come up, we will sing Blue Boat Home. Thank you all for singing. That's one of my very, very, very favorites, and of course, showing my age, but what I always think of when I think of the Earth as our blue boat home is the photograph that, I should know which one of the astronauts took from the moon. It's called Earthrise, that shows the Earth rising up from the moon, and it just gives me chill bumps every time I see that photograph and also hear this song. Well, before we close, we thought we'd see if anything that we said today sparked some thoughts in your minds that you might like to share with the rest of us. So we thought we'd take a few minutes and see if anyone would like to make any comments. I neglected to ask someone to check with our online people. Could someone volunteer to, okay, Brad says he's got that. He'll keep us posted there. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, any thoughts that you would like to share with us? And I'll bring the microphone to you.
There was a hand over here, I'm pretty sure.
I am just so seriously disappointed. Oh, okay. I am so seriously disappointed about how much disrespect the Christian religion has for our earth.
I know we're all concerned about the future because the Trump administration is not as dedicated to greening, the warming of the earth as the Biden administration. But I read Time magazine all the time, and one of the good thoughts I have in there is that even that the United States isn't even the leader in the world of preventing warming. Other parts of the world are more involved and busy with this than we are. So even though we may even be declining what we've been doing, the rest of the world is marching on. This is personal. I am so grateful to my mother, who described herself as a nature worshiper. She was much too active to kind of sit and worship anything, but her way of worshiping, I guess, was to hike all over the mountains and sail, and that just gave me such a grounding in what's important about living.
I don't want to discount any other religions. I do a lot of volunteer work to help out our community in our area, especially with things like trash. I do trash cleanups, and there are people from many different faiths who participate, and sometimes we just have to find common language. And so one of the things I found most useful is discussing how important it is to be good stewards of our planet, and that seems to really resonate with a lot of other groups. So I would say let's not discount any other folks, and let's just come in, figure out how we can, have common ground and common language. So, and I want to also, I guess, shout out, because I'm a child of the 90s, I want to shout out Bridget, who talked about what we can control today in spiritual practices, because when it comes to environmentalism, it's very easy to get stressed out and think like, I can't control this, like I can't control what other countries are doing, I can't control what my own country is doing. But just think about, small steps that you can take and what you have control of, and I think that's how we change the world.
I wanted to say my father was a park manager, a state park manager, and very dedicated to preserving the nature at parks. And I have friends that work in the national park system. One of the ways everybody could help is supporting those park systems. They don't get a lot of funding from the government, but they do thrive on people coming and donating and participating in saving those reserves. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank Elizabeth Greenwood, who I do not know, for bringing my mind back to just appreciating and looking at the beautiful world around me, because it's easy to forget that.
When I was in college, I took a philosophy class, and one of the philosophers we studied was Martin Buber. And nobody understands this, and maybe it's my misinterpretation of him, but somehow to me, what he said, or at least the very small piece of his philosophy that I learned, was that we can dialogue with anything. It doesn't have to be what we consider alive, quote unquote. And so when I was in college, I learned to dialogue, to talk to rocks. And it's been a long time since I've done that, but somehow the comments about Buddhism particularly brought that back for me, and I'm going to revisit that. Thank you.
I think the community is really great here with the green efforts. A couple of days ago, my dad and I went to the place where you recycle a lot of stuff, because I haven't lived at home in years, and then I heard that the recycling program was discontinued, and I was like, what? So I recently got a minor knee surgery, and I haven't been out of the house in days, and my dad took me, and I was like, this was great. And he was like, Nat, I was like, I had such a great time people watching at the recycling area, and my dad was like, because all these people are so green, Natalie, and I really just left, and I loved how there was community of people trying to be green, even though programs like recycling in neighborhoods have been discontinued. So I feel like the community here and the green efforts is really powerful too.
I'd like to comment a little bit on Charlie's description of the Christians as kind of uniformly not being very environmentally attuned and in favor of exploiting the earth. I think that glosses over a split of opinion within Christianity, because I know that there are Christian groups that are very much into environmental protection and reverence for the earth, and I think that the majority ethos of the Christians basically is use it up, God gave it to us to destroy, or use however we want. But there is a significant minority that think more along the lines of the Native Americans and respecting the earth. And I think that a lot of the people who are really into drill baby drill and don't give a damn about the environment, they're not Christians at all. They're not particularly religious at all. They're into the religion of greed. And so I think you have to be careful painting those people as Christians, because I don't think they are.
I didn't think I was going to be getting so much exercise at work, at church. This is great. Somebody over here.
I love this service today. It's so wonderful. I care very much about the environment, as I know all of y'all do too. It reminded me of one of my favorite books I ever read. It's called Last Child in the Woods, and it's about how passing on the stewardship of this world to our children and why that's important. And as a child, I spent hours and hours in the woods by myself, because we had woods behind our house, and we had a lot of rare things like pink lady slippers. I don't know if you guys know what those are. They're a very rare plant. We just had them growing. We had all kinds of little lizards. I don't know what they were. We had crawdads, but it stuck with me all these years later, and that's why we're outside all the time. I mean, we spend a lot of time playing video games too to kind of level it out, but we do spend a lot of time outside because it's very important to pass on that love of nature and that curiosity to the next generation.
This was such an interesting service. It's one of my favorites, I think. Mike and I are lucky enough to live on the woods in our backyard. And on the back porch, we have a bird bath that's attached to the fencing. And we have such an up-close view of all kinds of birds coming to the bird bath. And I marvel at, like, a blue jay and a little chickadee can be drinking out of the same water, and there's no fighting, no fussing over it, no battles. And we have, I think, 5 feeders in the woods, And again, all the birds that come, and the squirrels, who eat most of it, and just nature in itself is such a glorious thing. I look forward to it every morning, and our cats do too from a distance. Their little mouths just chatter. Thank you.
And then there are hummingbirds.
Thank you all so much for your comments. Brad, did we have anyone? Oh, okay. We do want to include our online people, and it's always, I find it a challenge to remember that when I'm standing up here, but we are always very glad that you folks are with us also. One more thing we need to do today, we had a plastic-free week attempt a month ago, I guess, and I think Yada has some results of that to share. I'll have to say, I thought I was going to participate, and I tried it. I felt like I was such a failure. It is not easy.
Thank you. It was really wonderful to have so many people attempt to participate in this, and we had 6 households that did return their questionnaires or surveys, and I'd like to give a summary of it. And I would say ahead of time, with regards to recycling, that the focus of this effort was on not bringing plastic into your house, because we know that there's not an economic market for most plastics. So once you buy it, you know, if you can reuse it, that's fine, but recycling isn't really economically viable. Most successful activities were using shopping bags instead of plastic bags. Everybody gave that a try and was successful in doing that, including the types of bags that are reusing bags to get your produce in and not using the plastic ones that they provide. Many people avoided using restaurants for takeout that use styrofoam or plastic boxes, either by not eating out or carrying their own containers and flatware with them to take their takeouts with. Restaurants that were recommended as using cardboard included Tomato Head Culver's, which I'm not familiar with, and Chipotle Grill. Are there any others that people know? Just shout it out. Mellow Mushroom? Okay, great. All households used glassware for cooking, because we know that heating things in plastic is not only bad because you buy plastic, but it's bad because you're eating the plastic. And about half replaced their plastic or Nalgene bottles with metal or glass. Those that are advertised at being BPA-free really have very similar construction and are not good for you. I already said that. About half used refillable soap or bar soap and detergent, and a few, very few, repaired clothing or bought secondhand to avoid synthetic fibers. We received some good suggestions that were not on the form. These included rewashing Ziploc bags or reusing bread bags, buying from the deli instead of buying packaged meats and cheeses, donating or selling unused clothes, and shopping at farmers markets with bringing one's own bags. Using paper yard waste bags when you're raking or whatever, and visiting Knoxville again. We had a great field trip there that Ellen and Dave organized. When was that?
July.
July, so, you know, if anybody wants to organize another trip, that would be great. So we have enough prizes to let each of the 6 participants choose one. So I will call your name and please come up. And do you want to be Vanna, or do you want me to just do it?
I can help too.
So the things we have are one of the, probably, you know, the biggest prizes are these boxes that you can use for shopping. We have some bags for putting produce in. We have bamboo toothbrushes, if anybody wants to try that. And we have a metal water bottle. So I will call your name, and please come up. I shouldn't have used something that had adhesive on it. Let's put this down a bit. Maybe we can undo the other ones. Oh, what do you know? The first one is Craig Brandt. I'm going to be accused of cheating here. Yeah, if you want to take more than one thing, that's fine. We have a lot. I'll take two. So, okay. Jerry Thornton and Alice, could you please come up? So we have bags for produce, we have a water bottle, one of these. Okay. Anything else? That's good. Thank you. All right. I can tell we're going to have leftovers. Oops. Tremaine Hawkins, come on up and get your prize. Or prizes. You don't want to take the water bottle or something too. I'll take the one. Yeah. Elizabeth Corbett. Is she in the back? Yeah. Okay, we'll catch her later. If there's anything left. Suzanne Molnar, come on up. Bag.
No, I don't have use for it.
Okay. You can take more than one.
Yeah, we've used more than one.
There you go.
You've got to learn to use them, David.
All right. Take more if you like. Judy Winchester, come on up. Before Suzanne sits down. Oh, there she goes.
You can pass on anything we got left in here.
Yeah, just look through there and see what you like. So we really appreciate everybody participating in this, and we'll probably try to do it again in the future. Maybe we'll even try to do more than 1 week, because I don't know about other people, but I had a tendency to try to get my plastic buying out of the way before the weeks, which is kind of counterproductive. So, all right.
Okay, thank you, Yetta. That was very good, and it makes us so extremely aware of how pervasive plastic is in our environments. Before we close, we do need to highlight our opportunities here at Westside, in addition to working for a greener planet, but other opportunities for justice and generosity. As always, it takes money to run a congregation, a church, and we have quit passing a plate because it really didn't seem like an appropriate part of a worship service. But we have a box at the back of the sanctuary always where you may put donations. We have a QR code there, and we have a QR code online, on our YouTube presentation, on our website, in our newsletter, so always be aware of that as an opportunity to give. Each quarter we choose a different organization as a community partner, and right now our partner is an organization called Awesome Found, and it is a charity that supports a group called Nerd Fighter Moms. I love that. And you may contribute using, again, a box at the back of the sanctuary or the QR codes that are available for you. Westsiders have already committed to sponsoring 4 Family Promise families of children, the children of 4 families during the holiday season here. But if you are interested in helping make sure that a child has a fun Christmas, you can contact Elizabeth Corbett. She is here in the building, I believe, but just not with us in here. And she has info on how you can do this for several other kids, some through Awesome Found, and I believe some through other channels that Elizabeth is aware of also. So with that, we will close our service. If you would like to stand and join hands, if you don't feel like joining hands, as we always say, you absolutely do not have to. You can be with us in many different ways. As we leave, we will extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.